And Jacob was left alone. And there wrestled a man. That's when he wrestled. And that's when his name was changed from Jacob to Israel in verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with the Most High and with men, and hast prevailed. See. And so when Esau met Jacob, let's go to Genesis 33, then we're going to continue on. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah, and unto Rachel, and unto the two handmaids. He gave the children each four of his wives. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost. He put the handmaids, not Leah and Rachel, he put the handmaids with their children, they went out there first. And Leah and her children after. And Rachel and Joseph hindermost, right? So, you know, he loved Rachel. So he put the handmaids first, then Leah, then Rachel was going to go last. But Rachel was something else, man. That's who he loved, but remember, she stole Laman's idols. And when he came to get his idols, she said, I'm on my cycle. I'm on my monthly. And she put all his idols underneath her little pillow that she sit on when she's on her cycle. Hide his idols underneath her. Say, I'm on my cycle. So, you know, you're going to get away from me. This woman on the cycle, he just got away from her. And the Most High killed her in childbirth when she had Joseph's baby son. I mean, not son, but brother, Benjamin. He killed her in childbirth. So it says, and he passed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. So he bowed himself 7 times on the ground praying to the Most High. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him. And they wept. And he lifted up his eyes and saw the women and the children and said, who are those with thee? And he said, the children which the Most High have graciously given thy servant. Then the handmaidens came near, they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also and her children, with her children, came near and bowed themselves. Leah had six sons in Dinah. And Rachel, and they bowed themselves. Rachel had Joseph at this time. And he said, what meanest thou by all this trove which I met? And he said, these are the fine grace in the sight of my master. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep that thou hast unto thyself. Esau said, I got enough. I don't need nothing that you can give me. And Jacob said, nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face, as though I had seen the face of the Most High, and thou wast pleased with me. Because remember, he thought he was going to kill him. Take, I pray thee, my blessing that is brought to thee, because the Most High hath dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and he took it. And he said, let us take our journey, and let us go, and I will go before thee. And he said to him, my master, knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and the herds with young are with me. And if men should overdrive them one day, all the flock will die. Let my master, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly, according as the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to endure until I come unto my master, unto Seir, till he come and go back to Mountain Seir. And Esau said, let me now leave with thee some of the folk that are with me. And he said, what needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my master. So Esau returned that day on his way unto Seir. That's Mountain Seir. You understand? That's why when you look at Genesis 36 chapter, now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom, right? Jump down to verse 8 and say, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. It just says Seir there, but I'll tell you that M-O-U-N-T is Mountain Seir. Esau is Edom. You see? So now that we have that understand this. Prophecy, how Esau made that vow, and he didn't kill his brother Jacob, but he made that vow, and it went on down to the nations that he a part of, the Edomites. This is what it says. Go to Ezekiel 35, and we'll start at verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Most High, this is from the Most High, came unto me saying, Son of man, Ezekiel, set thy face against Mount Seir. Now we already established who lived in Mountain Seir, the Edomites. So set your face against the Edomites and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus say the Most High Power, behold, O Mount Seir, that's the land, that's the mountainous area that the Most High gave the Edomites. I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste. Prophecy. So I will lay your cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Most High. Why? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and have shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. See, at the time that our iniquity had an end. Look, that's why you look at Revelation 12 and 12. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. That's right here on this earth. Woe, destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. Why? Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right? So who he coming down with? Who he coming down with this wrath for? Verse 17. That's why it's very important to understand these prophecies, so you can see what's going on in the spirit, that you can see that's so hateful against the fact that we are the chosen people of the Most High. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 17 says what? And the dragon, which is the serpent, that old serpent that you read about in Genesis 3rd chapter, the devil and Satan. Look at verse 9. And the great dragon, which we look at verse 3, it says, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. Right? So it says, and verse 9 says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, all together, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Right? Ain't no fallen angels fell down from those skies. Satan's angel fell down from those skies. No. That means he's going to be brought down. He's going to be thrown in the lake of fire, period. Verse 17 says, and the dragon, which is the devil, the serpent, Satan, the beast, and the spirit of Esau, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, which represents the 12 tribes of Israel. You see, when you look at verse 1, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. That's representing the 12 tribes of Israel. And Jeremiah 6 and 2 says, I have likened the daughter of Zion, which we are the 12 tribes of Israel, to a comely and delicate woman, symbolically. Right? So now, and that's why I say, why would, if you want everybody to know what this Bible is talking about, break down verse 1. That's a whole breakdown. You know? What does that talk about? A great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Break that down. Not with no, don't bring no statue of no woman with, and all that. No, it's symbolically saying something that, if he want everybody to know, why would he put it like that? That's a parable. Nevertheless, going back to verse 17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. And the reason why I ain't breaking it down, because if Most High wanted you to know, he would make sure that you would know what that's saying. Or he wouldn't have wrote it like that. It wouldn't be written out like this. And if you desire, then you just like those that, when the Mashiach Shai was dealing with those people that was on the shoreline, he was on the ship talking to them. We need to go there. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. That's the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel that's repenting, that fear the Most High, that's repenting, keeping the commandments of the Most High and crying to the Most High. That's the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High. Now, you know I ain't talking about you religious people because y'all saying we ain't under the law. We ain't under the commandments. And how the testimony of Mashiach was shot, according to the truth of what's written in this Bible and no lies, right? So you see here, it says that the devil, the dragon, the serpent, Satan, the beast, and Esau, all of them red. I mean, Genesis 25 and 25 said the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, right? These are mysteries that's been hidden in the Most High that most people don't even understand. They don't have a clue. I see brothers debating with pastors. They sitting there with their Bibles open. The pastor sitting there with no Bible at all. How you going to talk about this Bible or talk about you religious or whatever you call yourself and you don't even have no Bible? What's that about? But people going to regurgitate whatever they say. Y'all using somebody talking to you. These scriptures, this is just like school to you. They say you want to keep stuff from us, you put it where? In a book. This is the most powerful book in the world. #1 seller, right? But everybody not getting what is the understanding of what it's saying. So you see that? So now, when you look at, Moses said, hey, they have a perpetual hatred and have shed the blood of the 12 tribes of Israel in the time when this calamity had an end. That's why we're looking at that. In your affliction, you're going to seek me early. Let's go to, and it's a reason why the Most High letting us know we got to deal with this. Look at Revelation 18:4, first and foremost. Revelation 18:4. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. That's talking about the ways of Esau, the Edomites, that ye be not partakers of her sins. You see? You don't be partaker of her sins. And that you receive not of her plagues. See, right now, this earth is being plagued. Now, remember, I didn't go into it, but I told you that the Most High said the elder shall serve the younger. So how the Most High ways and thoughts, how he applied what he said he's going to do, that Jacob will receive the blessing of everlasting life. The Most High chose Jacob. He didn't choose Esau, but he chose Jacob. And like I pointed it out, that was a lie. He was not Esau. And he lied to his father, because he was not the truth. But the Most High's ways and thoughts on our ways and thoughts. Keep that in mind. He said, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. That's why you look at, go to Lamentations 4:21 and 22. Most High remember her iniquities. That's why he's saying we ain't supposed to be dealing with them in the same mindset. He said, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Talking about the so-called Caucasians. Indigenous, I might say. We ain't talking about no color. We talking about the indigenous Edomites, who they are, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. The Most High said that judgment will come to you. Thou shalt be drunken, and shall make thyself naked, exposed. That's why, come on. Look at Isaiah, hold that, get Isaiah 47:3. Thou shalt be naked, right? What do he say? Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. See? Exposed. to all the shameful things that they have the people doing that's contrary to the laws of the Most High. He say, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. He come in his angelic power. Hamashiach Yahushua, through the power of the Most High. Going back to Lamentation 4:22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Our punishment is accomplished, the Most High telling us, we the 12 tribes of Israel. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. This is our last captivity, y'all. This is it. We're in the last days right now, right before our eyes. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Hear that? What was their sin? You heard what he said. What did he say? He said, when my father Isaac died, he said, I'm going to kill my brother Jacob. But he didn't. But he put that vow out. This is what it say, Obadiah. Let's go to verse 10. This is what they did. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Ain't that what he just said? The shame shall be revealed. For the violence against thy brother Jacob. Look how they shooting us down and the verdict is not guilty. That's still prophecy too. Zechariah 11:5, you know, who oppress the slave and hold themselves not guilty. Look, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. He said, in the day that thou stood up on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, because the Most High, look, you got to understand, the Most High, he gave his laws, statutes, commandments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any other nation. Listen, let me prove that right. Hold that, let's prove that right quick. Let's go to Psalms 147, 19 and 20. I don't like to make statements that we can't prove it according to this word, through the precepts. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. So he only showed his laws, statutes, commandments to we, the children of Israel. You know, they never sacrificed no animals for no sins. They wasn't given the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. We were, as the children of Israel. That's why he said, this is sin. Obadiah, 10th verse. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldst thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldst not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity. So I'm going to say, in our affliction, we're going to seek him early. Nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. I mean, when we fell in 70 AD under the Romans, they took all our records, our riches, took everything. And when we went into captivity under the Babylonians, that's why David prophesied against them. Look, what are Psalms? Oh, that gets Psalms 137. Psalms 137, in verse 7. Remember, O Most High, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So they say, hey, raise it, even to the foundation. What did they do? Just what we just read in Obadiah. Understand, this coming around, we got to bring it on around so that you'll see what it is that we did. Remember, we read, our ways compass the ways of the wicked. So we taught the wicked ones our ways. So it's no cry about that. You know. You want to have a problem with that. Nobody will have a problem with that. Why not? Because y'all care about the oppressor more than you do yourself. That's why you ain't concerned about it. But look at First Ezra, the 4th chapter, because it says, remember almost how the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem. We just read about what they did in Obadiah, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So what did they do? The answer is in First Ezra, the 4th chapter, the 45th verse. It says, thou also hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees, when we went into captivity under the Babylonians. Chaldees represent the Babylonians, you see, for 70 years. They burnt down our temple. Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees. See that? That's what they did. That's why the Most High is talking about this. So that's why David's prophesying. You know, David had peace for 40 years. Well, he had war, but he had peace for Solomon, his son. David was a warrior. He had too much blood on his hand. He couldn't even build a temple, Most High said. Remember, they sung the song, Saul killed thousands, David killed tens of thousands. Yeah. So it says in Psalms 137 and 7, remember, O Most High, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation thereof. So you know what they did. Just told you. They burned our temple down. The old daughter of Babylon. So that's why you see Babylon the Great. That's what's talked about. Esau's considered Babylon, which comes from the word Babal, which means confusion. The old daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. When we say going to be cut off forever, who are to be destroyed. Happy shall it be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. That's payback. So now, and I'm saying all this to make a point, and you will see, as if you continue to watch this series of Hosea 5:15. See, look what the Most High said. Obadiah, let's start at verse 13 again. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldst thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. Here go one over here, they catching us, giving us to the Babylonians. For the day of the Most High is near upon all the heathen. That's all the nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. We're going to stop there. See, that reward going to return upon their own head. What they've done, they're going to reap what they sow. See, it is very important that you see, because we are in a time that Most High said, come out of her, that we don't receive of her plagues, y'all. I got to understand and overstand this, because it's very important that we see what these scriptures are saying in bringing forth what it is that we need to know according to